Hello everyone. It's Jennifer Sinceri, and it is Friday, October 14th, 2022. I apologize for being late this evening. It has been a crazy week, crazy day, but I wanted so badly to be here with you. I am all about easy tonight. I am going to show you how easy it is to make some simple cards. Sometimes we have all the time in the world to sit and create. And then sometimes we are short on time. And so that's my life right now. I was very short on time, and I was running some errands that needed to happen because I'm going to be at an event tomorrow. And so I needed to create some very quick and easy cards to show you tonight. And that's what this is about, quick and easy cards. Okay? So if you could let me know that you are watching, I would appreciate that. If you could give me a thumbs up or a heart on the video, that would be wonderful. And the best compliment that you can give me is when you share this video with your friends. I always appreciate when you do that. Thank you so much for sharing. All right. In our current holiday mini catalog, on page 17 and 16, you're going to see the Santa Express suite. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I had put an idea into the demonstrator sandbox that I wanted a Christmas train. My husband loves trains. We go train watching all the time. The craft room is actually decorated in trains because it's a craft room / office that I share with my husband. So trains have always been something very special to us. Even when we were dating, we went and watched trains. This was not exactly what I had envisioned. This is a very whimsical suite, and that may be right up your alley. We've got designer series paper that I am going to play with tonight. Last week I showed you the cards and envelopes. There's a Memories and More pack. We've got some embellishments, wonderful, beautiful, like tinsel-like ribbon, some embossing folders, and then a stamp set and bundle. Okay? The only thing that I am going to play with tonight is the designer series paper. Yep, that's all I'm going to do. My cat is going crazy. She's like running around the craft room, being a silly kitty. Okay, what else do I want to show you? So the dies will cut out your stamped images, but they also will cut out some of the images in the paper. Okay, so that's always fun. I love this gift bag that they made. And then you're going to see a couple samples. There's going to be also a sample or two in the back. Hi, Lori. Thanks for hopping on. I was running late tonight, but I am here. Okay, so like I said, all I am doing tonight is making very easy, simple cards because, frankly, my life has been crazy busy. But I wanted to create something, so it's all about easy cards tonight. And sometimes that's what we need, right? We don't have the time to create all of those wow cards with lots of different parts to them. Sometimes we only have a little bit of time, but we want to create and be creative. And so sometimes we need very simple, easy cards. And that's what we're going to do tonight. All right. I think I've got 4 cards I'm going to make with you. Okay. So I've got some shaded spruce. Love this color, green. And I went this pack of paper. Goodness, I didn't realize I had used so much of it already. So it was like, okay, what are we going to use with these scraps? So this is not even, it's not my normal layering. But that's okay. We've got a little bit of spruce on both sides, and it's going to be a little bit different than what I normally do. All right. You can change the dimensions on your cards however way you need to. Sometimes we need to use scraps up, don't we? Sometimes we have full sheets of paper to work with. And that is not quite centered. All right. We're going to trim a little bit off that edge. So hopefully you guys had a great week. My week feels like it went by extremely fast, like everything was on hyperspeed this week. And it's been super busy. I had some staff development on Monday and Tuesday, so I wasn't with students, but they were very busy days. And then, you know, you've got the week with students and you're trying to cram everything in 3 days that you normally would cram in 5 days. So it's been busy. And then tomorrow I am facilitating our ladies' craft night at church. I serve on the women's ministry team at my church. I co-lead it with my very dear friend. And one of the events is always a holiday craft night. And tomorrow is the craft night. And we have 6 projects that we're making. Actually, none of them involve stamping. Can you believe that? Yeah, normally I do a stamping project. This year, I thought we needed to switch it up a little bit, and so we didn't do any stamping. But that'll be fun. I'll take some pictures and share with you guys. And then I'm still trying to get that 150 card order finished. I feel like it's never going to end. I asked my husband to help me. And bless his heart, he sat and punched out pumpkin stems and pumpkin vines for me. And then I needed a few more pumpkins because I was realized I was 16 cards short. So he cut out more pumpkins for me. So we're almost done. I stamped all the insides last night. And then after I am done with you guys, I am going to get the sentiments done for all of those cards. I do it like in an assembly line to make it go faster. All right, so notice I put a white mat around each piece to help make those pieces pop. And I put this one more towards the right, just off-centered, okay? And hi, Peggy. How are you, friend? I love this ribbon. This is the red ruffled, mini ruffled ribbon, and it's real red. We've had this before in other colors. I'm just going to show that to you. I just love it, and it's actually very easy to work with. But it's funny. I hadn't ordered it yet, and then I just recently got it in an order, and I'm like, why didn't I order this sooner? I love it. Probably because I was trying to use up some red ribbon I already had. So Peggy, you guys have had snow? My goodness. Snow in Minnesota. Wow. Is that a normal time for you guys, or is this early? Is this early for snow? I don't know. We're hot here in California. I am sick of it. I want so badly for it to be cool and autumny. I think it was in the mid 80s today. All right. Now, I also have pulled our adhesive backed seasonal sequins. Okay, so we're going to use some of these guys. And I've also pulled the Snowfall Accents Puff Paint. I haven't used this yet. And I thought it might be fun to add some snow to our piece here. So it's early this year. Okay. All right, let me read this because I haven't played with this yet. Have you guys played with this yet? little arrow here, so that must mean that there are directions behind here, I'm hoping. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, it's in a different language. Where are the directions? Shake, oh, right there. Shake well before using. Apply in a thin line, then heat with a heat tool to puff the paint. All right, let me grab my heat tool. You already have an inch? About an inch, and then it melted. Yeah. Okay, let's get the heat tool. And let me plug it in. Let's see. Not enough. There we go. Looking for an outlet here. There we go. Okay, got that ready. So, hi Shelly. I was scrambling to get some cards created for you guys tonight. Like I was explaining, I've had a very busy, hectic week, but I wanted so badly to come on with and be with you guys tonight. Okay, so we're just going to, I'm going to test this because I don't want to ruin my card. I'm going to grab a scrap of paper. Oh, scraps, where are you? Come here, Scrappy, Scrappy. Here we go. Okay, let's just see. And I didn't shake it. I was supposed to shake it. So let me put the cap back on. This is the puff paint, Snowfall Accents puff paint. All right, so let's just practice. All right, and then I'm going to heat it. So excuse the noise. Ready? Ooh. Oh, okay. I'm starting to see it changing. So it comes out smooth, and then as it heats up, look at that, it turns textured. How very cool is that? Okay, let me show you up close. Let's see if the camera will focus. There we go. See the texture to that? So it comes out just like wet paint. And then, look at that. That's really cool. And I just smushed that. So, very cool. All right, let's add some of that to this card. I'm going to shake it one more time. I'm assuming you want to shake it every time you use it. All right. Let's put some snow by my tree. And we'll put some little, ooh, there's a bubble. We'll put some like speckled snow on my tree. Okay. Have you played with the puff paint before? Okay. So, this was my first time using it, and what I would suggest is do it on whatever it is you want to do before you put it down on your card, because the heat is going to morph your card. Okay, so learn from my experimenting. Do whatever puff paint you're going to do to the side, heat it. After it dries, then add it to your card, okay? I mean, it's fine. I can just bend it back, but the heat will, I don't even know what the word is. Make your paper look different. All right. But it's cute. I like it, and I love the texture. So that was fun. I bought some when it was on the September special. We had that sale, those 4 weeks in September, where it was discounted and different things were on sale each week. So I bought a couple. Yes, thank you, warping. Thank you. I feel like I'm brain dead. I haven't had dinner yet. I've got a bit of a headache. I'm falling to pieces here, you guys. And I'm tearing my container here. Can't get it open. Goodness gracious. What are you guys going to do with me? All right. Yes, warping. You guys are right. I'm like I said, I can't think. Okay, so we have a pretty pinky color. We have a green. We've got gold and iridescent. You could add iridescent to add like snowflake looks to this. Or if you wanted color, you could add the color. Now I'm going to add my little bow there in the corner. So tell me in the comments what color embellishments you want to put on the card. Yes, I agree with you, Peggy. I think the puff paint is going to be a really nice element to add to our card making. I'm going to be using it probably more in the winter months, December and January, even in February. It would be nice with maybe some of the Valentine cards. Who knows? Hearts and snowflakes would be very cute. So I'm seeing Shelly says gold. Put some gold on the card. Anybody else have input? While you guys are typing away, I'm going to put my glue dot on my bow. Oh, the kitty cat is playing with something on the other side. All right. Nobody else wants to comment? Okay, Lori says gold or red. So we have 2 votes for gold. I actually think I like the... Oh goodness, hopefully she doesn't... Don't jump on the table. Go bye-bye. You need to go bye-bye. Let's see. Where am I going to put these goodies? Let's put a big one down here. Uh-oh, she's coming over here. I like to do like a triangle with my embellishments. Oh, Miss Hyper over here. Maybe it was the, let's move this one over. Maybe it was the heat tool. Got her all energized. Silly kitty. Okay. Pretty simple card, but we've got some fun interests with our puff paint. I love this ruffled ribbon, you guys. I really like this, and I think I'm going to stock up on this and use it on Valentine cards. Wouldn't that be lovely? Because this is in the holiday mini, and I don't know if it's going to carry over, if they're going to keep it. Is it in the holiday mini or is it in the annual? Let me look real quick. Let's look. Oh, I think it's in the annual catalog. Oh, good. So we will have it for a while. Yay. I'm glad I checked. So yeah, I think this is going to be a lovely ribbon to use for Valentine cards. Definitely your Christmas cards if you're still working on Christmas cards like I am. Okay, there's a very fun, easy card. This is all designer series paper, but we do sell that Memories and More kit. And I love the Memories and More packs because, again, they make very easy cards, and you can step them up. If you're an avid stamper, crafter, you can step them up. Like here's some of the pieces right there for memory making. Then they made one as a card right here. So you get 54 pieces. 54 double-sided cards, 2 sticker sheets, 4 acetate overlays, and 2 laser cut sheets. And it's for $12. That's a great deal. All right, first card done. Like I said, I did not buy the stamps to this suite, believe it or not. I had put in the idea sandbox that I wanted a Christmas train. They had one a long time ago. I never bought it. And then I kind of wished I had. And when I had put it in the idea box that I wanted a Christmas train, this wasn't really what I had envisioned, but it's cute. All right, so I've got a couple ideas on this card. This is Granny Apple Green. Not a color I normally use for Christmas cards, but look at this piece of paper. This is one of those sheets that, I'll show you the rest of it. It comes in rows like this. So this makes really good backgrounds for your cards. Okay? But they're thin. So it actually would make a really good slim card. But I wanted to make a regular sized card. Now, I can put a piece of red behind it like this. Okay, and see how that pops. Or I was thinking of just adhering a little bit of ribbon behind it. Now this is going to be a little bit harder, but then you would have the texture of the ribbon. Okay, so you guys tell me which idea you want me to try. Would you like to just have the paper behind it, or should we use 2 strips of ribbon? Tell me what you would like in the comments. So Lori says she likes the ribbon idea. Okay, give it some texture. Okay. Now, if we do the ribbon, I can cut 2 strips and adhere them down. And then this is just like put the ribbon to the edge of the card. Or we put it slightly behind, but then you don't get to see as much. I think I want to see more of the ribbon. Okay. But then we have the issue that I don't want our ends to unravel. Normally when I use ribbon like this, I wrap it. And I don't really want to wrap this because that's going to waste a lot of ribbon. So I think we're just going to cut and let it be on the edge because I really don't see another way. If I wrap it around, you're going to see it on the inside of the card. Now we could put a panel here, do something up here on the top of it, but what do you guys think? Should we just trim it to the edge of the card, or do you think we should wrap it around? What do you guys think? It doesn't seem to, I mean, if I really play with it, it'll come undone. But I think the ruffling, the ruching, helps it not to fray. Okay, I agree with you, Lori and Shelley. I think we're just going to trim it. And I think the ruching is going to help it not fray. Okay? All right, so our card is a 5, it's 5.5. So we're going to cut our ribbon to be 5.5, okay? Just like our card base. So I'm going to put that piece of red to the side. So we're going to, can you guys see? I want to make sure I am in the view of the camera. I'll just snip it once I get it adhered. I really like this ribbon. Okay, let's move that. All right, and then I'm just going to use double-sided, actually, I could use tear and tape. That would be better. Let's do some tear and tape. So let me grab some, because I think that will hold it down. You could also use Stampin' Seal Plus if you wanted to. So let me grab my tear and tape. And did my daughter snag it? Let's see. There it is. Found it. Okay. There it is. This stuff is great. Have you guys used tear and tape before? I love it. Just want to make sure the ribbon is perfect width, that we don't see it on the edges. But I just need to get it centered. And we just tear it. I'm just going to make sure that that's good, that there's no air bubbles in there. And then we're going to tear off the backing. Okay. Now let me see where I want this to be in the middle. Okay. Let's put it right about there. Ooh, this stuff is super sticky. All right, and then we can trim just a little bit off. I agree, Peggy. It is super easy to work with. All right, let's do the other piece. So I kind of already told what my plans were. Tomorrow, for those of you that just hopped on, I'm doing our church craft night. And I'm going to bake some pumpkin bread in the morning. I'll make some gluten-free pumpkin bread for those of us that have diet issues. And then I'll make some regular for everybody else. And I'll take that with me. And then I think we're going to put it over the card a little bit. So let me put this down. What else am I doing? Sunday after church, we're going to take the family to a local pumpkin patch. It's not a real big one. It's one that we took the kids to when they were little, and it's funny. They asked the other day if we would take them. I was actually very surprised because my kids are 13 and 16. Didn't think they would want to go back because it's more for little kids in my mind. And they're like, no, we want to go. It's tradition. I'm like, okay, we'll go. So we're going to go there Sunday after church. So it's gonna be a busy weekend. I need a weekend that I can just veg. Soccer season is gonna start soon. He's trying out for the team. They had a bunch of boys say that they're interested. In the past, they've just gotten on the team and they barely had enough players. This year, there's competition. So I'm hoping he gets on the team. He's very, very fast. And he's already played on the varsity team 2 years in a row, even as an underclassman. But that's not a guarantee he'll get a spot. So I'm really hoping that he'll get on because it will devastate him if he doesn't. So think good thoughts that Logan gets on the team. That is adorable. I really think that's super cute, you guys. Let me hold that up so you can see the texture. I love that. Love that. Okay, now, because I did not buy the bundle, I fussy cut this out. But if you buy the stamp and die bundle, there is a die that will cut the trains out of the paper for you. Okay? But if you don't, you can still enjoy the paper. I just fussy cut it. No biggie. No biggie. Okay, and then I stamped Magic is in the Air, and this actually came from Christmas to Remember. I have used the stamp set so many times. It is in the annual catalog. All right, so let's see what we're going to do here. Now I could do the engine with the box car. It's not really a box car. I don't know what it is. Or we just do the engine because there's these trees and candy canes in the background. So it's up to you guys. I don't know that I like this. I feel like it needs to be on a piece of red. So I think I like just the engine. And let's put a little bit of red on this and we'll trim it. Okay, to make it pop. And I'm going to use some dimensionals on our little engine there. All right, I'm just trimming my red paper. snips out again. Oh, and I don't like the way that looks, so let me fix it. Who started Christmas shopping? I know it's not even Halloween yet, but have you guys started to do Christmas shopping? There we go. I did a little bit. I can't talk too much about it because I have ears close by. But I did a little bit. I still have a bit more to do. I have to figure out what I'm getting for hubby. He's bought himself so many toys lately. I said, really? Those should have been wrapped up and put under the tree. But I don't want to wait that long. I can't blame him. My husband is a Christmas baby. He was born on Christmas. So his birthday is Christmas morning, believe it or not. So we celebrate Christmas in the morning, and then we celebrate his birthday in the evening. All right. I want to see the candy canes in the tree, so I think I'm going to put it in the middle, because if we put it up here, it cuts off the tops of the trees. So I think we're just going to put it right there in the middle. Well, Lori has done a little bit of shopping. Good for you, Lori. I hit some pretty good sales this summer on a few items that were on clearance. And so I got some good deals, but I've just gotten a few things. I have to decide what I'm going to get for my parents, what I'm going to get for my brother and his wife. My nieces are easy to buy for. They're easy to please. But it's the adults that sometimes I'm not quite sure what to get them. The paper is really adorable. I would show you the paper, but I've got like bits and pieces because I bought a pack and I've used almost the whole pack up. Okay, now you could add some puff paint maybe on the tops of your mountains if you wanted to. I don't think I'm going to do that this time, but I think I'm going to add in some of the sequins to make them look like maybe like little snowflakes, or you could put rhinestones on here. But since I've got these open, we're going to put these guys on. Let's see. I like how they're iridescent. But I want a bigger one. Let me grab a bigger one so it shows up in that snow right there. And then we'll grab this little guy and we'll put one. Now I want the bigger one because it's going to be in the snow and we want it to show up. Okay, we've got a few there. My sister-in-law, thank you for asking, Lori. So I'm not quite sure what the last time what I shared with you. So she had her brain surgery. She has done chemo. She was able to make it through. No, I'm sorry. She did radiation first, and she was able to do all of her rounds of radiation. And then her body, they gave her body a month to rest. And then they started chemotherapy. And the chemotherapy, it's a pill. So she just takes it at home. And the first round was really, really hard, and she was very nauseous, and she couldn't keep much down. So they had to give her some anti-nausea medication, stronger stuff than they had originally given her. And since then, she's tolerating it, but this is harder than the radiation was. So if you would keep her in your prayers, her name is Chantel. She's had the best attitude, bless her heart. She is just being such a good trooper through all of this. She's got her days where she's fed up, and not feeling well and wants this to be over. And then there are days where she's just praising God and having, a really good mindset. So thank you for asking. I would say she's doing pretty good. There's some foods that it's really hard for her to eat. She just can't do it right now. It just doesn't sound good. It doesn't taste good. And so the eating part has been a challenge. Okay. Next card. I fussy cut out our little Santa and Mrs. Claus. Okay. And they have different skin tones on the piece of paper. So you can pick whichever skin tones you want. And I was thinking of this side. So there's some trees in the background. Or you could go with snowflakes. Just letting you guys know. I like the trees better. So for this particular card, because I'm going to do another one with the snowflakes. Just for a different look. Okay? Sometimes it is hard to choose which side of paper you want for the front of your card because you like them both. Now, as you can see, a lot of these cards have very minimal stamping on them. And like I said, sometimes we just need quick, easy cards that don't involve a lot of die cutting, don't involve a lot of stamping, but we want to create something. We want to have fun, but we don't have all the time that we would like to have. And so these are quicker cards. They're easier cards, but yet they're still cute, right? Okay, so we've got Santa and his wife ice skating. And then I stamped a season's greetings, but I think I'm going to put this on red like I did the last one to make it pop. Okay, and this again is from the same stamp set that I'm pulling all my sentiments from, Christmas to Remember. Great stamp set to have. I've used that so many times. I think it's my go-to for Christmas cards. That, and I like the religious Christmas stamp set in the annual catalog. Those I think are my favorites for sentiments. We've had some really good Christmas sentiment stamps. Oop, I need to trim that a little more. Okay. Oh, and I trimmed it too much. Oh well. Now this one I did not do a flag pendant on the white. You could do it on the red, or you could just cut it. Totally up to you. I think I'm going to cut it because I'm going to maybe put a bow on this one. Yeah, that is what I'm hearing, Lori, that the chemo is harder on you than the radiation. So I'm just praying for her and praying for strength and endurance and that she can eat. My brother is working really hard at making sure that she's eating. So I know they're going to be super happy when this phase of life is done and they can move on. She will always need to be monitored to make sure that it stays under control, because it can grow back. But we've heard very good things. I don't know if I told you guys this. The cancer that she has is actually very rare. And so there's different, you would know this, Lori, and correct me if I'm wrong. There's the stage of cancer, and then there's the type of cancer, like how aggressive it is and whatnot. And I don't know if it's called grade. I'm not quite sure. That part I'm a little just unsure about. But I do know that it's very rare. And so she was feeling very discouraged because she didn't have a lot of people that she could talk to that she knew had gone through the same type of cancer that she has. And then they found a pastor in, I want to say Texas, but I can't remember if that's where he is. He had the same cancer, same stage, same grade, everything was the same. And he gave a testimony and sermon on suffering. And a friend had found it and had shared it with Chantel, and she was so encouraged by this. And his treatments were the same exact treatments that my sister-in-law has been going through. So he's been cancer-free for over 10 years. I can't remember. It's been more than 10 years. I know that. And so they're just very, very hopeful that this is going to take care of it. And, you know, she's going to be okay. But we just will have to keep monitoring it and watching it, because it can grow back. But we're feeling pretty good about it. So thanks for asking, you guys, and thank you for your prayers. Okay, should I go with iridescent again to go with the snow? Or should we go green? I don't know that I want to do the red, because the red is more of like a coral red. Thank you, Shelley. I so appreciate that. We've really just have seen the hand of God through all of this. It has been amazing. It's been so encouraging just to see that He is faithful. And even in the midst of storms, He is there with us, and He is so, so good to us. So thank you. I'm leaning more towards iridescent. What do you guys think? Any thoughts? Yes, it does, Lori. Absolutely. There is power in prayer. And when we are all gathering and praying in Jesus' name, that is huge. That is super powerful. So, absolutely, friend. Absolutely. Don't you just love that we can be all over? I'm getting goosebumps right now. Don't you just love that we can be all over the world in different places, and yet we are united in His name, and that we can lift each other up and intercede for each other? I just love that. I love that about our God, that He unites us. And we might be separated by miles and distance, but yet we are unified, and He brings us together. Just, I love that. And I'm just getting goosebumps, you guys. Okay. Oh, I was going to try a bow on this, but you know what? I don't think we have room for a bow, and I don't think it needs it. It's a pretty busy card. I'm going to hold that up. What do you guys think? Cute little couple there ice skating. Hi, Linda. Welcome. You could even add a little bit of snow with that puff paint on here too, but that might be a little too busy. And I don't want it to take away from our center, our focal point here. So there's another card. Okay. And I'm going to start my last one. All right. So I had some pieces in the paper when I was fussy cutting. These images, I didn't want to throw them away. So I thought, how can we use them? They are on this sheet of paper. So this is the ice skating Santas. And like I said, they come in different skin tones, but you've got these trees, you've got gifts, and you've got, I guess those are North Poles. So I didn't want to throw them away. So I said to myself, let's cut those out and let's come up with a card that we can use with that, okay? And then I had a leftover tag from last week's cards, and I thought, well, let's use that somehow. So we're going to finish tonight off with this card, again with another shaded spruce. We have so many beautiful greens in our line, you guys. Green is universal. It can go with really any color scheme, because think about flowers, right? We have green leaves and stems, and they are on all different colored flowers. So green really goes with any color scheme. You can't go wrong with green. And we have so many to choose from. I think shaded spruce is one of my favorites, so. So, like I said, we can make really cute cards, and they're super easy and simple. These have had minimal stamping, and yet they're cute. If you got some ribbon and some embellishments, you're good to go. Okay, I need a sentiment on this. And I was thinking about Have a Holly Jolly Christmas. That one. I think I can make it work. Thank you, Peggy. So appreciate it. And yesterday I posted a picture of myself. I have lost, it's over 30 pounds since May. Now, some of that was because I was sick. I lost about maybe 10 to 15 pounds when I was sick, you guys. But since May, I have been on this diet where I have cut out certain foods because I can't eat them. They make me sick now. So I'm not eating gluten, and I'm not eating dairy, and I'm not eating corn because it's harder to digest. And I'm not eating soy. I can't do spicy foods because of my ulcer. And because of these diet changes, I've lost more weight. I'm fitting into clothes that I haven't worn since my kids were in elementary school. Which is great. I'm loving this. I'm super excited. Someone was asking me the other day, isn't it great? Don't you feel wonderful? And I was like, well, I still wake up stiff and sore. I'm 50. I still have aches and pains. I still have more weight to lose. And I can't take any painkillers. I can't take any Advil or anything in that medicine family because of my ulcer. So that really stinks, because there are times like I really would like to take some Advil and I can't. So I'm going more natural with like muscle creams and whatnot when I'm getting kinks in my neck or in my shoulder blades. And it just doesn't do the same. But, you know, yes, I'm cutting out sugar too, because sugar is very inflammatory, and that's what I'm being treated for, is inflammation in my gut. So anything that will cause inflammation is what I've had to cut out. And it is not easy. But you do what you got to do, right? To stay healthy. So I have to stay positive, because if I don't stay positive, then forget it, right? Now this one, I think we're going to add the snowy puff paint too, because that'll be super cute. But I learned my lesson from the last card. I'm going to do it before we put it on my card front. Okay? So let's shake it. And I am pre-diabetic. My parents are diabetic, and I was always pre-diabetic. And so I am assuming that my blood sugar is probably pretty good too, because of losing that weight. That's going to help. I don't know if I want to put it on the tree. Maybe just we got to be careful, because it kind of comes out fast. I need a little. All right, let's try that. Okay. Watch out for the noise. You ready? Now that I need my tweezers to hold this, because it's going to fly away. All right, here we go. There it goes, it's starting. It has to get hot and then it starts changing. All right, and let me do my other piece, because we've got some snow here by our gifts. So let's add a little bit. I'm not going to fill it all in. I'm just going to do maybe some. Oh, okay, it came out super fast. Watch out, because it comes out fast. I wish it was more like a little needle hole. Instead, it looks like a small hole, but it comes out fast. Come on. I gotta move it to the edge. There we go. I'm holding it with tweezers because I don't want to burn my fingers, which you can do with these because they get hot. Okay. Looks like frosting in a way, like it's been frosted. I love it. I think it's my new favorite. My new favorite thing is this puff paint. It's so fun. Okay, so we're going to put some dimensionals on the triangle tree because it's going to hang off of my tag. And then we'll just put our double-sided adhesive on the other part. And I just let that cool and dry while the other piece. And now while I'm working with this one's drying. So it shouldn't be a problem. Oops, we gotta take our backs off. Cute, very cute. All right, now we need some bling on here, and I wish that we had something in that empty space. So maybe we'll just put some sequins there in that empty space. All right, I think on this one, let's add in, we could do gold or we could do the red-ish color, the reddish color, because it's not truly red. The green, I feel like it's going to blend in. We have too much green, so let's add red. Okay. So, I like these sequins. My favorite embellishment, one of my favorites, was the Artistry Blooms sequins. And when those retired, I was not happy. But they brought these out. And so, they don't have to be Christmassy. They can be, need it more like this. And let's, yeah. You can use them on all occasion cards, so that's nice. It's not a true red. So, right here. Okay. I think that's really cute, isn't it? And that was just using up scraps. And then you've got the snow. Super cute. Okay, let's put the cards down so you can see all of the cards we made tonight. All right, we've got this one. We've got ice skating. We've got the train engine. And then we've got another train engine down here. Let me move these up so you guys can see. Can you see them all? I'll cover my host code for a little bit. There we go. Now you can see it better. I really like what the snow adds to the cards because they're simple cards. The only stamping was my sentiment, but the snow really helps add some interest and depth, texture to the cards. I love the ruched ribbon on this card. I might go back in and maybe add a little bit of snow to this one. We'll see. I don't want to ruin the card. Sometimes you can get carried away. And this one might need a sentiment somewhere. But I think they actually came out really cute. Of all of them, I actually think this one is my favorite. Which is funny because this was like the last one that I came up with and it was using scraps. So I hope you enjoyed tonight. I'm so sorry that I was running late, but I am so glad that you were able to find me and that you joined in. It was fun talking with all of you tonight. And I think the whole object of this evening is you can make really cute cards with very minimal effort. Sometimes it's just lots of paper and you're not using your stamps and inks. It just depends, you know. Use up those scraps because you can actually come up with some really cute cards using them. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, that you are able to do something to rest and relax and rejuvenate this weekend. I know in my busyness, I am going to set some time aside tomorrow morning and drink my tea and have some quiet time before having to get ready for our church event in the evening. So I hope that you guys have a great weekend. And as you go into the new week, that you will enjoy each day. Just taking it one day at a time. This is like the start of the busy season, right? October seems to be busy with harvest festivals and taking the kids trick-or-treating and whatnot, and craft shows, and then we go into Thanksgiving and Christmas shopping, and then it's Christmas and Christmas parties and all the different events that we do to celebrate the holidays. But we just want to make sure that we don't run ourselves ragged and that we don't lose sight of what the holidays are really about, and that really ultimately it just is, it doesn't matter how many events you're going to or how many parties you're going to. We want to just spend quality time with those that we love, right? Okay, so I will see you guys, hopefully, Lord willing, next weekend, next Friday. And until then, have a great, great week. All right, bye-bye, guys. Love you much. Bye-bye.